Hey friends! So since I am a Metallica fan, it only makes sense that I would review Metallica's, well, one of their most popular songs of all time, and it just happens to be about addiction. And if you're new to my channel, I talk about alcohol recovery, mental health, addiction, and sometimes I do react videos or music review videos where I give my perspective as a recovering alcoholic over 8 years now. I give my perspective on, what I think the lyrics mean to me and what I think the artist could be going for when they're talking about addiction or mental health and things like that. And when I say I'm a Metallica fan, I mean it. This is my favorite tattoo. I think this is my favorite tattoo that I have. This is Lady Justice from the album cover of Metallica's And Justice for All. And that's actually also the shirt that I'm wearing for this. This shirt is extremely old and my tattoo is about 10 years old. So the song I'm going to be reacting to is Master of Puppets. So they never actually had an official music video for Master of Puppets. They had a live recording that they did, and then they input cutscenes from their movie Through the Never in with it. But actually, just recently, literally 48 hours ago at the time of this recording, they came out with an official lyric video. So I'm like, man, which one should I play for this? I don't know. So I have both of them. The top screen is going to be their live version. The bottom screen is the lyric video. I'll play a little bit of the lyric video as we go, but for the most part, I'm going to be showing the lyrics from genius.com where they, have the annotations on the side, and I'll be reading some of that as I go. So let's begin. Yes, I'm alive. You know what, James? It feels great. And like I said in the intro, I do talk about how the lyrics relate to my life and how they relate to alcoholism and addiction and all that kind of stuff. But right away, when he says, "Are you alive? And how does it feel to be alive?" I will say that me being 8 years sober, it feels absolutely amazing. In comparison to life with alcohol use disorder, obviously night and day, but I am truly myself. I am truly really happy in every possible way without numbing my life and destroying it, honestly, with alcohol. So we'll start the video right off at that. That part was super cool. It was clearly for this music video in particular. That's not on the album. The whoosh with the fireball. So right away, you might recognize this man. That's Dane DeHaan. You've seen him probably in a bunch of things, so that's where you know him from. You can Google him if you want to, but these are cut scenes from Through the Never. So right away, we got I'm just going to call him the protagonist just because, he's the main character throughout this music video other than the band. But yeah, he's looking pretty disheveled laying on the pavement there. So yeah, let's just continue. So good. Like, is that not the best riff? The best thrash metal riff, really. Like, I know there's a whole bunch more, but for real, like, it just really freaking gets in every cell of your body. So we are into some lyrics. Pretty sure you can see where we're going with this. Right away, it already feels like, okay, this is about addiction. So let's see what genius.com says. End of passion play crumbling away. You're done. So you're dying now. The opening line conveys what happens to an addict. They become dependent on something that is at the same time killing them, ruining their life, and leading them down a path of self-ruin. I'm your source of self-destruction, basically. So this song is from the perspective of the drug or alcohol. Well, alcohol is a drug, but basically James is singing as if he is the drug. So you can see where we're going here. So veins that pump with fear, sucking darkest clear, leading to your death's destruction. Now, there's lots of different references to specific drugs in this song. You'll see later on, but here, since we're talking about veins, it sort of sounds like he could be talking about heroin being the main one, you know, where veins are involved. Veins that pump with fear. I mean, it could also be literally just your veins getting pumped with fear, sucking darkest clear. I'm sure there's a few different ways people could interpret these two lines here. I interpret this line through the lens of alcoholism a little bit more metaphorically. I would see that as when you're drinking, when you're in active addiction, it's sucking darkest clear, meaning it chases all your worries away. All the dark is pumped out by the act of using, by drinking. All the darkness becomes clear, meaning all your worries go away, and you're left with basically like what feels like as a blank slate, but it's not. That's a lie. That's the lie that drugs and alcohol tell you. I'm sure that is one way that you can interpret that. There's of course the other way of it's around heroin addiction, which I don't have any experience with, so I don't know about that. Leading on your death's construction. So it's the number one driving force to creating your inevitable death. So let's continue. Yeah, those are some great lyrics. So, taste me, you will see, more is all you need. Let's see what Genius.com says. Addicts think that one more fix will be enough, but more never is. A drug such as cocaine is often tasted to confirm its potency. Cocaine is a tolerance drug. More of the drug is required to produce the original effect. Of course, coming from me, a recovering alcoholic, I would see taste me, you will see as in alcohol. So you taste alcohol. See, there's different ways that you can interpret this. Taste could mean just to consume a drug. Doesn't necessarily mean to put it in your mouth to use your taste buds. But I do love the lyric of more is all you need. It's all you need is just more, you know? It's funny because the guys in Metallica wrote this song when they were in their early 20s. It's so great. So dedicated to How I'm Killing You. Again, James, the lead singer, is singing from the perspective of the drug. And so the drug is dedicated to how it's killing you. The addict. The master is drugs. Obey your master, which is the drugs or the alcohol, and that's basically where my life ended up, which my life revolved around alcohol in every way. It revolved around when the liquor store closed, how I was going to get to a party, if I had enough cab money at home. If I didn't have enough cab money home, how would I figure out a way home? Okay, well then I'd probably have to go to someone's house. The next day when I was hungover, my whole life revolved around nursing a hangover. My job was affected because I was either hungover or preparing to drink, or maybe even sometimes I still had residual effects of alcohol still in my body when I went to work in the morning. This was all throughout my 20s, and it got progressively worse as time went on until I finally realized that I was going to die if I didn't stop drinking, and I did that at 30. So I really did feel like I needed to obey alcohol. Also in a way of, it was like alcohol was my best friend. It was always there. It made all my worries go away. It made me feel amazing. But in the end, I mean, I realized that it was basically an abusive relationship where it was all lies and it was all nice in the beginning until it turned all to shit. So let's continue. So notice how he says, your life burns faster. Well, that's true from two ways. So one way would be, well, you're shortening your life by literally putting poison in your body. And in the other way, it reminds me of how my life was moving faster in the way of years would go by and I'd like look around and try to see what I accomplished in those years and realize I accomplished nothing. Like I was 27, 28, 29 years old. I was still working retail. I was still around sort of the same friends. I mean, that's not that's not an issue. Like most of them were amazing people and I'm still friends with them to this day. But my life wasn't changing. It was the only way that my life was changing was with my addiction was getting worse and worse. Like I wasn't making progress mentally. I wasn't making progress emotionally. If anything, I was stunted in a lot of ways in the way my brain worked and my behaviors and my thoughts and all that kind of stuff, you know, and then suddenly I was 29, 30 years old and I was barely living paycheck to paycheck, like not even paycheck to paycheck. Some months I had to decide, am I going to get a full grocery order or am I going to pay my phone bill? Oftentimes I'd have to do like 50-50. It was a horrible way to live. So in that way that your life burns faster, that's how I felt my life was going. It was going by and I was doing nothing. No progress at all. So even though the lyric video is helpful with the lyrics, let's just get that out of the way because we have the lyrics right here. So our protagonist in this video is going through some stuff. We could also equate this to what it's like living with addiction. I mean, looks like he's going through an actual war. He's all beat up. There's a lot of like bad stuff happening. So good analogy. Yes. So Master of Puppets, I'm pulling your strings. Again, he's the drug. He's pulling the strings of the addict. The addict does whatever the drug wants. The drug twists your mind and it smashes your dreams. Holy shit, does it ever. So let's see what the lyric interpretation is on genius.com. The drugs have taken over everything. They're all he sees, all he thinks about. It controls his behavior. He can't stop and he can't live a normal life and fulfill his life's goals and dreams with the drugs in his way. Same thing happened to me. I had a lot of, I mean, we all do. We all have goals and dreams in our life. But when your goals end up being to get blackout or to nurse a hangover however many days a week, or to continue to be on a bender because you don't want to feel feelings or you don't want to like face life, you know, and you just want to like have fun and do whatever the fuck you want. When you live like that, goals don't really get accomplished. You know, your dreams start to become like, that was a stupid dream anyway, you know, well, it'll happen someday, I'm sure, you know, until you, like what happened to me, I was like, oh my God, I'm 30 years old. I have nothing. I've been homeless 3 times. What am I doing with my life? So when I got sober, it was like a life or death thing. But at the same time, I knew that I had a lot of dreams. I wanted to be a wife someday, and I wanted to be a mother, and I wanted to have money. One of my goals was to go to the grocery store and buy groceries without looking at the prices and load the groceries in the trunk of my very own car. That was a goal that I wrote down when I first got sober, and I accomplished it 4 years later. And I wouldn't have been able to do that when I was still drinking. And the twisting your mind part, I mean, geez, anxiety was unbelievably through the roof. I had panic attacks, honestly, almost daily, sometimes multiple times a day. I sometimes wondered if I was actually starting to lose my mind near the end of my alcohol career. My mind it felt like it couldn't think correctly. It was almost like I could feel my brain getting stuck with thoughts. So twisting your mind, yes, that's definitely what happened to me. And it was horrifying. Blinded by me, you can't see a thing. It's true until the clear moments where you can start to see, but denial and being almost delusional is so incredibly powerful when you're in active addiction. Literally, you're blinded by your drug of choice. People say, man, it's a choice. to continue. But man, after a while, it's like your brain is, your brain is taken over by the drug. You're blinded by it, and it takes over your life. You can't see a thing. Yeah. See, just call my name and I'll hear you scream. That's the drugs and alcohol, again, lying to say that they're your best friend. They'll always be there for you, which of course they will be, but in the long run, overall, the next day, a few hours into it, are they really there for you, or are they completely fucking your life up? They fucked my life up. Right. So lots of people interpret this lyric as maybe pointing to heroin because of the word needle in it. Needlework refers to the precision and efforts needed to retrieve and consume the drugs, i.e. the way. Okay. Never you betray refers to the non-stopping urge of the addict's addiction, i.e. the addict never gets out of the way and always returns to and serves the master no matter how hard the obligation feels. So always trying to figure out a way to get more. Because remember, all you need is more. All right. So, life of death becoming clearer. For me, actually, let's see what this says. You not only want to die because of this torture, but it pushes you to the brink and its effects bring you closer to death because of the addiction. Yes, okay. So for me, near the end of my drinking career, it was starting to become more and more obvious that things were getting quite bad and that I was going to end up dying in some sort of way because of alcoholism. It was becoming clearer. Pain, monopoly, ritual, misery. No matter how much you do to try to get rid of it, the drug ruins you and brings you much misery. And no matter what you do to try to get rid of it, it will always and forever be a part of your life. That sounds really doomy, and yeah, in a way it is. Yes, I'm 8 years sober, but that addict part is always a part of me. That addict brain is always in there. The addict voice rarely speaks up anymore, and when it does, it's pretty quiet, but it's still there. I truly feel like who knows, maybe 10 years from now, I'll feel like I'm out of the woods, of possibly having a slip or a relapse, but I don't ever want to drink again. I'm perfectly happy without it. But yeah, every once in a while, the addict voice is still there. So yes, no matter what I do to try to get rid of it, it's always going to be a part of my life. And that's okay with me. I don't ever want to forget how bad it was because I don't ever want to get back to that place again. So this next line of chop your breakfast on a mirror, that's obviously cocaine. To call that breakfast though that is sad. That is the life of many people though, that's the way that they would start their day. But again, it takes over your life, it takes over your decisions, and it becomes your master, and you're the puppet. More cutscenes from Through the Never. Pretty gnarly scene there of people of that man really looking really beat up and bewildered and terrified. Such good lyrics. For real. I mean, they're simple, but they're to the point. The best bridge coming up. So good. So good. This is basically classical music right here. It's beautiful. For real, after you watch this, you have to watch the full music video, the lyric video, listen to the song on Spotify, whatever you got to do, just really listen to it to appreciate it. It's just so good. There's Lady Justice. See all the crosses coming up? Now, I know that their album cover for Master of Puppets is a bunch of crosses with the strings, Master of Puppets, you know, and the crosses would represent, you know, war, disposable heroes. It could also represent, of course, addicts. So our protagonist is walking through the streets some more and just surrounded by destruction. Let's see what they say about the bridge. The guitar solo in this section of the song is meant to represent getting high and afterwards a crash, withdrawal from the drug. Of course, I never even thought about it that way. Yes. Yeah. Oh, poppers. See, and he's just standing there surrounded by absolute chaos. He's between people fighting in the street, the opposing sides of what looks like to be law enforcement, and then regular people with a lot of weapons. And he's right in the middle there. Yep. Oh. Yeah, see, okay, he's right in the middle there. And we hear the music starting to pick up again. We're coming out the other side of the bridge. I saw them play this song live, and let me tell you, I could feel this in every cell of my body. It is like a heavy, awesome, powerful. See these images of people in coffins, in turmoil. Would that represent being trapped as an addict? That's how I would interpret it. Yeah. Maybe this is the addict now talking to the drug. Where's the dreams that I've been after? Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, you're promised only lies from your drug of choice. Aside from the cries of Master in the chorus, this verse and the following line, "Fix Me," are the only lines of the song sung in the voice of the cocaine addict. Okay, yeah, see? Okay, of the cocaine addicted protagonist. Okay, that's what I figured. So let's continue. So they just feel like they're being mocked. They feel like they're not being taken seriously. They're disposable. They have no compassion, no empathy for them. That's what I would interpret from that. So I think I know what James says next, and it's not "fix me," but if you were to say "fix me," what does that mean? So desperate to overcome what controls him and just wants to be put back to normal, or he's seeking a drug fix. I would see meaning both at the same time. Let's get high, let's get drunk, but at the same time, please help me, please fix me. So let's see what James says. Yeah, okay, so he did say pancakes. So Cliff Burton was the former bassist for Metallica when they made this album and their previous albums. And when they were on tour for Master of Puppets in 1986, they were on tour with Anthrax. And the drummer for Anthrax asked Cliff, what does James say after laughing at my cries? Like, what does he say? I can't make it out. And Cliff joked and he says pancakes. So because of that, they thought it was hilarious. So now James, whenever they do a live version, he usually says pancakes. But he added pancakes go. I don't know why. I guess maybe it just sounds better than just saying pancakes. But so little inside knowledge there for you. That's an homage to Cliff. Well, crazy stuff happening in the visuals and in the song. And there is actually something to say about the guitar solo. Like in the first section of the bridge, the guitar solo represents getting high again after the fix and crashing afterwards. That makes sense. It sounds a lot more chaotic. A lot more. And I know for me, when I was in active addiction, sometimes getting drunk, it was super fun and it was, no cares at all. But then sometimes, more often than not near the end, whenever I was blackout or not in a good state, things felt very chaotic and I felt out of control and wild and very bad, very, very bad feelings. So the sounds at this part of the song are a good representation of that. Yeah. So good all around this song is. And yeah, when you look at it from the perspective of crashing and burning and getting drunk, getting high again, and going through that vicious cycle, the chaotic life, it brings a whole new meaning to it. That's a nice scene with Kirk and Lars there. Like, that's just shot really nicely. I'm sure it was on purpose, but it looks really nice. Plus, Kirk's really handsome anyway, so. All right, into the next verse. Hell is worth all that natural habitat, just a rhyme without a reason. So the interpretation, there isn't one. Should I suggest an improvement to earn IQ? Let me know what you think in the comments, what you feel this would be about. But for me, hell is worth all that natural habitat. For me, I would have said back when I was in active addiction, I would say that even though I was in hell, I mean, a lot of the times I would feel like it was worth it. Like I was having fun. Even though I know deep down I wasn't, but I felt completely worthless. I had no self-esteem. I felt like I hated myself really. So I was in my natural habitat of hell. And I felt like at least I had that because I built my identity around my addiction. Just a rhyme without a reason. I would see that as just continuing to live in the chaos of addiction. You're just stuck in it, really. Yeah, same sort of thing. Never-ending maze, drift on numbered days. For an addict, trying to get clean and relapsing over and over can be a tough and confusing thing, thus the never-ending maze. Okay, I could see it like that too. I could also see it as just living in active addiction without the relapse, but sure, you add in the relapse, then it feels like it's never-ending, of course. The drifting on numbered days life is out of season part is about how while the addict keeps coming back to the drug, each time it's killing them more and more until their life is out of season and they die. Yeah, basically. I am one of the lucky ones who got out of that chaos. And I'm still living today. I know there's lots of people out there who did not get to do that. But if you're watching this, you got to, you're alive. Talking as the drug again, clearly. It will occupy your life, it will help you die, it'll run through you, and it will rule you. We're back into the chorus. Okay, see on the stage, because this scene actually to the live version is from Through the Never, the movie as well. But this is after Lady Justice falls, because you can see all the pieces of her laying on the stage. Because like there is no justice. That's part of the reason, man, of why I got that tattoo. It just speaks a lot to me. Oh, no, it's right then. That's when Lady Justice falls and crumbles to the stage. Just more cutscenes from the movie again, and James laughing. Yeah. After. So glad I did this one. It's obviously a classic. This song came out when I was 3 years old, and I would have first heard it when I was, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old, probably, from my mom or dad playing it. I really didn't appreciate Metallica really until, I don't know, I was around 10, 11, 12. Of course, then through my teen years, and now as an adult, still very much so. But anyways, I love the song for the lyrics, the meaning behind it as well, and the fact that they wrote this song, and composed it with all the different pieces when they were in their early 20s. It's just so great to witness. And I'm glad I got to react to this and give you guys my perspective, coming from the perspective of someone who is a recovering alcoholic, and how I interpret those lyrics. So I'd like to know how you interpret the lyrics, and if you have any other suggestions for me on any songs that you would like to see me react to around addiction and mental health, that'd be really cool. I have a really long list that will keep me going for a long time, and I'll continue to put out more videos because I'm getting a lot of good feedback, and I find them really interesting and a lot of fun to make. So thank you for watching, and remember, you can do hard things, you deserve happiness, and you are loved. This man is, what's his name?
Dahan.
Dahan.